everyone, Justin here. I just wanted to take just a few minutes to go over some recent uh, legislation that has changed regarding 529 plans. Many of us over the years have contributed to plans for our kids with full anticipation of them attending college and us having to utilize that 529 money to either pay for in full or supplement some of those tuition payments while they're in attendance. But a question that's really come up several times over the years is, well, what happens if my child does not go to college, or what happens if my child goes to perhaps a Naval Academy or U.S. Air Force Academy, West Point, etc. Which case tuition's paid for, or what happens if they get a scholarship? Well, the great news, guys, is we're no longer bound to having to take the withdrawal out of the account, experience taxes, and of course the dreaded 10% penalty. So recent legislation came out. So effective 2024, next year, we will essentially have the ability for those of us who have legacy 529 accounts. And what I mean by that is accounts that are at least 15 years or older. We will be able to take the balance of those accounts up to $35,000 and convert them over to our Roth IRA. Now, there are a couple of restrictions here that we need to be mindful of, and I'll kind of go through these by line item. But to the point, $35,000 lifetime limit based upon the account beneficiary, which could be your child. It could also be you. And what I mean by that is you could actually change the beneficiary on the account back to yourself or to your spouse and use up to $35,000 of the balance of that portfolio and move it over into your Roth IRA. So there's some opportunity there to start funding or continue to fund retirement accounts. Now, there are some conditions that exist, meaning we still have to have earned income in order to move money over. And the reason being is the money that we move over in that given year is subject to the annual contribution limits. For instance, if we're 49 years or younger, the maximum we can put in per year now is $6,500. If we're over age 50 or 50 and older, I should say, we're eligible to do $7,500 for the year. Now, we still have to have that income in order to substantiate the withdrawal or the movement of money from the 529 over to the Roth IRA, but you start to get the picture. As long as I have income, I can move the money. All right. Another important note, historically, for those of you who have made too much money to put money directly into a Roth IRA, you can actually move money from the 529 plan over to your Roth IRA, presuming we have the income to substantiate it, but there's no income phase out limit. So again, it doesn't matter how much money you make as a household, we can still take those dollars and move it over. Now, I mentioned it's the beneficiary that receives the opportunity. So right now, our kids, our children are listed as the beneficiaries on those accounts, us as the owners, as parents. However, we can actually change the beneficiary maybe to ourselves or to our spouse. And now that person, that beneficiary, is entitled to the benefit of that account to move that money from the 529 to the Roth. So I hope you're following the logic and the movement of money there. All right. As I mentioned, $35,000, the maximum you're allowed to do per beneficiary. But again, following the logic, if my wife were to take $35,000 out of the 529 and move it over to her Roth over the years, I could then change the beneficiary back to myself and do the same. Again, all the same conditions apply, meaning the income requirement and the contribution limit based upon age for that year. Anyway, I wanted to share all this with everyone because I know this question has come up more than once, and I wanted to give everyone at least an opportunity to hear this information firsthand from us. I do suspect over time it will change. Of course, laws always tend to migrate and change over time. So we'll have to be mindful of that if and when the time comes and we're eligible to do this. But a really an awesome opportunity coming down the pipeline, 2024. If you find yourself in this position and there is opportunity, and we do have some money sitting in 529 plans that we haven't historically used, give us a call. Let's start thinking about ways that we could leverage those assets to enhance in your portfolio. All right, listen, thank you for your time. Do appreciate it and hope everyone's doing well. Take care.